Hey there YouTube, Ninja Nick 333. Sorry if you can hear the air conditioner in the background, you know, buzzing, but it's really freaking hot in my room if I don't leave it on 24/7. So, anyway, this is the newest version of my hero deck. I call it Rescue Heroes, because I think there was like some action figure kind of line for like little kids that were called Rescue Heroes, and this is a hero deck with Rescue Rabbits, so Rescue Heroes, obviously. So basically, to start it off, we've got one Stratos, because it's Stratos. There's no need to explain. If you know anything about heroes, you know that Stratos, you summon him, he searches out another hero, or he pops back rows equal to the number of heroes you have besides him. Mostly you just go for the free search. Then you've got the triple Neos Alias. Basically, Neos Alias is just a big-ass monster. And he's light, and since he's a Gemini, he's also treated as normal while on the field and in the graveyard, which is another great thing, which I will get to. You can see that. Then I've got two Bubble Man. I cut him down from the three I had before in my previous builds, if you've seen those, because there's a lot more monsters in this deck. The biggest problem I've had with heroes all the time is that I never see enough monsters. So, that being said, I added the whole Rescue Rabbit engine so that then I can see monsters more often. So, because I have more monsters more often, that means more monsters in my hand, so less use for Bubble Man. Though there are situations where I could use a third, but basically if I need the third, I've lost the game anyway, the way the deck is built now. So we've got our three Sparkmen, because while he's in the deck, he's considered a normal monster, unlike Alias, so you can use Rescue Rabbit on him. Also, he's a light normal, so that gets into the things as before. I've got two Rescue Rabbit. I mean, standard, if you're doing Rescue Rabbit, you need Rescue Rabbit, right? That gets out the Sparkman. Then I've got one Photon Thrasher, because if you don't have anything out, you can just special summon him. So that's, well, no monsters out. You can have back rows. You can just special summon him out. So you special summon him and then normal summon Rabbit, and you have a first turn Shockmaster. There's lots more ways to do first turn Shockmaster in this deck than there was in my previous decks. Then we've got one Zephyros the Elite, because I can special summon Bubble Man, then I can bounce Bubble Man back to my hand, take 400 damage, and special summon Zephyros from the grave, then special summon the Bubble Man out again. Or I can bounce the Call the Haunted I have in here back to the hand to bring him out, and then reset Call the Haunted to potentially get more pluses off of Stratos even. So he works really amazing. There was one time when I really wished he was a warrior so I could make Excalibur or Blade Armor, but most of the time when I use him I just go into Utopia, because it's just so easy. And then if you've seen my other profiles for this deck, hero deck before, you know I play Gawain's. Now, he can be special summoned from your hand if you have a light normal monster out. That would be the three Sparkmen here, or the three Alias. So that's 6 targets that you can use this off of. So you can Rescue Rabbit, get Sparkmen, special summon a Gawain, first turn Shockmaster. And now notice that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lights as just regular standard main decked monsters. Honest, because it helps you get over stuff. I mean, it's really great. Honestly, it's really great. Ha 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 ha. I'm funny. Okay. On to so that's all the monsters. I mean, that's a considerable amount of monsters for a hero deck. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 17 monsters. That's almost half the deck. So, I mean, there's so many more instances when you can get it off. Now, another thing I do with the Zephyros is I can do that Call the Haunted thing. Call the Haunted back Like, a lot of times I'll make Lavolval Chain, mill him first, mill him second. Use Call the Haunted, bring him back, use his effect, bounce him back to the hand, bounce Call the Haunted back to the hand with him to special summon him. So, like, that's one of my nutty plays I do. Because I just love the nutty plays. Then we've got spells, staples, monster, reborn, dark hole, heavy storm, triple MST because I hate back rows, and my locals does play a lot of back rows, or else I'd put that to 2. Then we've got the searchers, Rhoda, double e-call, and 1 a hero lives, just to make sure I get those monsters out. I usually only use it in, like, worst case scenarios, or if I know that I can make double Excalibur in 1 turn, and they have, like, nothing, or, like, situations, like, basically either I use it only in OTK situations, or if I absolutely are in dire need of having 2 monsters on the field at once. Like, I have a Gawain in hand, and this. We'll use this to special alias from my deck, special summon the Gawain, make Excalibur or something. And then I've got triple Miracle Fusion because it's heroes. Banish 2 monsters to make a hero fusion from your field or graveyard, whatever. So, it's cool. Then on for the traps, we've got I used to play like 2 of basically what I would consider all the staple traps. Since I ran the monster count up so high, I cut down basically the traps, almost the staple traps by half, and then fit in a couple new traps. It's honestly hasn't hurt me. So, I've got 1 Compulse, because it's really great bouncing back Stardust to the extra deck, or Zen Mains to the extra deck, so it's really great. That's why I like that card. 1 Bottomless, I mean, you bottomless the Draco Sack, what are they going to do? A D-Prison, because after Excalibur goes back down to 2,000, like, stuff like Ophion can get over it, so then you just D-Prison it. Mirror Force, because it's mass removal. Torrential, because it's mass removal. You can always, like, special Photon Thrasher, get this off, and then normal summon Stratos, get Bubble Man, special summon Bubble Man, overlay Excalibur attack, stuff like that. I've got 1 Call the Haunted. I was trying 2 before, but I cut it down to 1 because it was, I don't know, clogging sometimes. But ever since then, I haven't been drawing it a lot, so I might put the second one back in, but it's still really great at 1. Because it's like I have a hard time deciding what I'm going to bounce back with to bring Zephyros out if I don't have the call. Then I've got 2 Hero Blast. Since I have 6 normal heroes, this makes this actually a viable card to play. So this can, if you have Alias Engraved, this can pop Thunder Kings. This can pop, like, the Evil Swarm guys, like Kirkion and stuff, and then it basically pops a lot of stuff, really. If you've got Sparkman only as your only target, I mean, it doesn't do as much, but it's still pretty good. Worst case scenario, you just get the hero back to your hand, and that can be good if you run out of monsters. And then just standard Judgment Warning. Because in this deck, I really like OTKing and stuff, so just being able to say no to anything is good. Otherwise, I would never play Judgment in anything. This is just one of the few decks I'd ever play that Judgment actually works well in. Because paying half is just basically terrible. Then we've got Extra Deck. We've got Triple Shining. Triple Shining because now we're running a crap ton more lights than before, where I was playing 2. So now I'm putting it up to 3. Because basically anytime I play Miracle Fusion, I have like 2 Alias, 2 Sparkmen, and a Thrasher in my graveyard, or something crazy like that. It's like I can banish anything. Plus, a significant amount of my extra deck Xyz monsters are lights also. So it ends up working out. And then I've got 1 Absolute Zero, because there are those situations where you really do just have to get the, like, Dark Hole effect off. I did play against Perfect Circle, you know, Destiny Hero Plasma kind of deck with the Phantom Sky Blasters and Dandelions and whatnot. So they're doing crazy stuff like making Lavolval Chain, using that to put Dandelion in grave, getting 2 tokens, then making Plasma. So basically my only out to it was Absolute Zero, because its effect activates when it's not on the field. And Plasma does skill drain the field. So that was my out to it. And then I bluffed having a second one. So he was scared. Then we've got... That's all for fusions. I know I do have darks. I do have a dark, and I have Earths and Rescue Rabbit. And I have Wind with Stratos, but it's really... If you have to go for a different hero besides Absolute Zero or Shining, you're gonna have a bad time. So, Xyz monsters, I've got 1 Blade Armor Ninja. Because it's Blade Armor Ninja, I'm Ninja Nick 333, and it can attack for 4,400 damage in a turn. It can also, it can also just, like, destroy 2 monsters in a turn and stuff, so it's cool. My stroke, in case I need to make a wall, or if flipping something down would be good, like, I can flip down Ophion so that then I can use Miracle Fusion. Then I've got my brand new additions that I freaking love, which actually inspired me to make this deck in the first place. Lavalval Chain and Daigusto Emerald. Now I will explain why. The Lavalval Chain I kind of already did explain, because you can mill the Zephyros and the Honest. So then you have access to them for whenever, because you can't search them in this type of a deck. But Lavalval Chain is basically a search for them. Other way is, let's say you have... let's say an Alias, a Gawain, and Dark Hole in your hand, and your opponent has some like massive field that you just do not think you can get around. Well, make Lavalval Chain, put Bubble Man on the top of your deck, set the Dark Hole, and pass. If they run over your Lavalval Chain, you draw the Bubble Man, activate Dark Hole, wipe their whole field, special summon Bubble Man, draw 2. And that will probably be double Miracle Fusion, because that's how this deck runs. And then we've got Gemnite Pearl, just because it can get over Stardust, and it's, you know, it's just big and stuff. That's it for the non-light Xyz. Now the light Xyz. Now you see, since there's a lot of light cards, you can get around Goes and Match, which I did in the previous video if you've seen it, me versus Evil Swarms. I didn't even realize I had this many lights until I played it like that. I don't even think I drew a card that wasn't light, but double Excalibur, because you can just go double Excalibur game sometimes, and it's, oh my god, it was easy before, but it's ridiculously easy now. As long as they don't play if they don't play anything their first turn and just pass to you, you win. Because there's just so many hands that can make 4 monsters in a turn. Then we've got, yeah, because Detach 2, make his attack 4,000 until their end phase. So then even if you don't kill them, they're still scared by the 4,000 attack. So they wait until your turn when it goes back down to 2,000. Also, Honest. So even if 4,000 doesn't get over it, you can still drop Honest. Or if it's back down to 2,000, you can still get over something with Honest too, which is always great. Starliege Paladinamo, Detach 2, negate one of their monster's effects, and make that monster's attack 0 that you targeted. Oh my god, there are so many times this is useful. Actually, in that Evil Swarm match, I made this... I wanted to negate the Ophion's effect, but I forgot that Safe Zone said no targeting, so I couldn't use its effect. But I mainly did it because I knew he would destroy it, and I'd get the draw off of it. And that draw got me Heavy Storm, and then the draw for turn got me Honest, and that gave me game. So basically, without this card, I would have lost that match. And he's just one of my favorites. I kind of want to put a second one in, but I've never had a need for a second one, so I'm kind of waiting on it. Then I've got Photon Pappy, because there was a game where I flipped Marshmallow with this, and then attacked over it with double Excalibur and Shining. So that kind of gave me game. And then we've got Utopia, because it's like a standard kind of staple Xyz monster almost. And then Shockmaster, because it's just so easy to make him. I kind of want to find another monster that's really good that would be 3 level 4 monsters besides, because there's always times when I have 3 level 4 monsters and I don't want to make Shockmaster yet because it's like not the right time. So I mean, if you guys want to point me in the direction of something, because I don't know if I want to go like Vylon Die Sigma or, you know, something else. And that's it for the extra. And then if you want to see the side deck, I mean, it's tailored to my locals, so it's not really going to affect any other metas. I mean, I've got a Grand Mole because it bounces stuff, like it's like a walking compulse. It's amazing and reusable. Double Fossil Dynas for the guys that special summon a lot. You can just stop them dead in their tracks, and they usually kill it off, so you can just spam special summoning the next turn anyway. And if not, you can just like beat down with him, because I've done that against Chaos Dragons before. I just normal summon this and just continuously swing at their life points for game. Then I've got double Night Beam because again we've got heavy back row decks at our locals like Black Wings and whatnot. So the Night Beams really do like screw over stuff. Like you hit when you're playing Worms and you hit their Nebula trap with this, it's just so satisfying. Then I've got a Soul Taker for, like, it's really good in the Hero Mirror match because it stops Shining's effect of if it's sent to the grave, if it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you get 2 hero monsters that are banished back to your hand. It stops that because it destroys it, and then it gives them 1,000, so Shining misses timing. Also, it just helps me get over stuff that I otherwise wouldn't be able to, like Ophion. If I have Miracle Fusion and this in hand, use this to get rid of Ophion, and then Miracle Fusion. Exchange, because you never know when they're gonna have that one card in hand that's gonna screw you. Like sometimes if some guys from other locals come to ours, from like Albany or whatnot, sometimes there'll be a guy with Exodia, and you can just make them cry. Plus I had the extra slot, so why not? A couple overworked because we've got a guy who plays Fire Fist, and if I ever loan Fire Fist to somebody, it can also actually work against my deck too, because if I make Excalibur, it goes up to 4,000. You can overwork it. Then we've got 2 Mind Drain because I mean it just stops big stuff this format, and 2 Soul Drain, again, the same thing. Like, if I play E-Drags, I side all 4 of these in. It's just so good. Then the last 2 Trap Stuns. Because, like, I can be guaranteed game, but they have a couple back row, so I'll just Trap Stun them, and then I'll go off with my double Excalibur. It's basically like playing 2 more Heavy Storms. But that's it for the deck. Tell me what you think. Oh, and I forgot to mention with the, about the, what's his name? Daigusto Emerald. He's really great when you have, let's say you opened up your 2 Sparkmen, or even you used your first Rabbit. You can use his, like, Pot of Avarice effect to shuffle the two of the Sparkmen back in your deck, and you can use the second Rabbit. So that's always cool. Plus, he can special summon out Alias or Sparkman from your grave. So there will be times when, like, there was this one game when I had made Lavalval Chain. Yeah, I think it was I called the Haunted Stratos. Got Bubbleman to my hand, special summoned him, summoned Lavalval Chain, detached Stratos to put Zephyros in the grave, bounce the Call the Haunted back to my hand, special summon the Zephyros. Oh, and then I like Monster Reborn Stratos, and then I got Bubbleman to my hand, special summoned the Bubbleman, overlaid 2 of them for Daigusto Emerald, and I don't remember exactly how it was, but it was something really nutty. I got out Lavalval Chain, Daigusto Emerald, and Excalibur all in the same turn. But yeah, that's it. So tell me what you think, and stuff. Obviously, I had to do it on the Return of the Duelist mat with the Excalibur. But I will see you guys later.